Welcome to Grandpa Sees the Blinking. Please don't take anything Grandpa says as financial advice and do your own research. Wow, here we go. Okay, Grandpa says we're at war. Toward the end of this live stream, I'm going to talk to you a little bit about, I'm going to tell you where it's of substance to buy and or to sell your shares. And towards the end, I'll get to that. But right now, I want to tell you a little war story. This was back when the United States had George Washington, and General George Washington was in charge of. Oh, don't forget to like and subscribe, by the way. Grandpa likes it if you like and subscribe. But anyway, so George Washington, he was a general. This is back in history, back in the early days of the United States. And the British and the United States went to war. I think we had like 13 states back then, something like that. But anyway, George Washington and his troops were vastly outnumbered by the British, and the British were much more modern and trained and all this and that. And they started having battles up there in New York, and the British won every battle. George Washington and his troops were on the run continually, lucky to escape. Many of them were taken prisoner and put in ships, prison ships, down in the hulls, and disease, and they'd have been probably far better off to die on the battlefield, but it was a nasty time. And eventually, George Washington and the troops got chased right out of New York area. Across all of New York's pretty big, really, not just the city. And so now they're over in New Jersey area, and George decides to do a sneak attack. It's kind of a last-ditch effort. I mean, these guys were losing bad. The end was near. The end was near for us. And so George, he gets them all across this river, and they go to Trenton, and they surprise attack, and they win. We got our first victory, our first real victory. And they had losses after that, but they learned how to win, and that's the moral of the story. And if it had not been for that first win, I just don't think it would have turned out too well. So anyway, now let me see, what have I got going here? What we're going to talk about today is some things that will help you so that you can win, so that you will win. Number one fact, what Grandpa considers to be a fact: at best, 1% of day traders actually make money. If it's even 1%, at best, 1% of day traders actually make money. That means that 99% of day traders are losers. That's pretty much a fact. Google it. Number two, 65% of long-term investors, people that put their money in indexes or whatever investment firm they choose to do long-term investments with, 65% of those long-term investors turn out ahead. But I'd add to that if you take inflation into account at all, they are all probably losers. All of them. Not even, maybe 1% at best of long-term can beat the inflation rate. So it doesn't look good for us traders. 1% of the day traders actually make money. The rest are all losers, big-time losers in many cases. The long-term investors, 65% turn out ahead, but they don't even keep up with inflation. That tells Grandpa that they're losers. That if your money's diminishing and isn't improving you, you're a loser. But none of you guys are losers. None of you gals, none of you guys. I got one gal, a daughter of a friend of mine, and she trades, and she is a hoot. This girl, she does not lack for guts, I'll tell you that. This is another story for another day, but I just enjoy her to no end. She's like fear. You know, the market makers like to use fear. This young gal, she don't even know what fear is. I don't think. It's hilarious just to visit with her. Okay. Number 3, how or why do the market makers always win? Number 1, panic. The sky is falling. They thrive on you panicking. They want you to panic. Don't panic. Number 2, fear. The market makers, or the money people, whoever you want to call them, the exchanges, they make the news. The very news reports you hear from the big exchanges, such as upgrades, downgrades on Tesla, fake news about Tesla in China or elsewhere. Just in the recent past, for example, one of the large exchanges upgraded Tesla, and everybody bought long. And the price went up. But in several days later, another exchange downgraded Tesla. And at that same time, another exchange put out fake news about Tesla. And even though Elon immediately said this is not true, the damage was done. You got to realize that the people that want to take, that are taking your money and Grandpa's money, are the very ones that make the news. By the way, Grandpa's very much under the weather. I'm going to take a sip of coffee quick. I don't think I'm getting better yet. It's been a week now, but I feel better. So that's very important to realize who makes the news for you. Okay, who is putting out the news? If the guy putting out the news for you, the exchange, the big guy, I don't want to even name their names. You can figure it out. If they're putting out the news for you and they're the ones taking your money, You ever consider they might be giving you news that isn't going to really help you? Excuse me, I hope I can get through this thing. I'm going to hurry it up. Number 3, greed. Not selling, always waiting for more. And probably worse, selling too early, only to buy in later at the wrong price. Try not to do that. Remember what Grandpa just said. Not selling. Greed, 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 greed. Not selling, always waiting for more. And probably worse, selling too early, only to buy in later at the wrong place. Number 4, time. We want everything to happen quickly. We want to see a profit quickly, and as a result, we act impulsively. Do not act impulsively. Please don't. You make bad decisions. We lack the patience to let it come to us. Have patience. You hear Grandpa say all the time, have patience. If you have patience, you're going to win. So how do we win? It's actually very easy, but we do have some basic rules that we must follow. Nothing that we can't handle, though. Grandpa can do it. Oh, take some notes here, just in case, if you know. Grandpa doesn't take very good notes, but some of you might be able to. Number 1, realize that we have a secret weapon. Yes, me and you and Grandma, don't forget Grandma, we have a secret weapon, and we're going to use it. Number 2, realize that we know in advance when to buy and when to sell. Absolutely. Do we know in advance when to buy and when to sell? Yes, we do. Number 3, realize that you only sell where the market maker sold in substance. I'm going to read that again. Realize that you only sell where the market maker sold in substance. Number 4, realize that you only buy where the market makers have bought in substance. Excuse me. Now, usually there's several choices to where they sell in substance on the top side and where they buy in substance on the bottom side. Save some of your gunpowder. Put some. You don't got to be greedy and do it all in one spot necessarily. Put some at one place of substance, one at the next place of substance, but never sell until you get to a place of substance on the top side, okay? And if you follow those basic rules, even if you buy all in at the first buying opportunity of substance, you will win, because the selling point of substance is above that, substantially above that. You just have to have patience. Never sell even one share at a loss. Don't do it. Do not sell at a loss. And what I'm talking about there is I'm taking your average share price into account, okay? If you buy one share at each place of substance, you're going to have an average share price. And if a place of substance to sell comes above that, that's a good place to sell. Any place of a substance to sell is the place to sell. Only sell in the green. Do not let these guys take your shares for any reason, ever. Don't sell out and try to average down. You're giving them money. You're giving them incentive to do what they're doing. You're helping them continue their game. Don't do it. Hold out. Only sell in the green. but only where the market makers sold in substance. Don't sell early. Hold out. Okay, number 7. Never use. Oh, that's Grandpa's number. Oh, I like this. Number 7. Never use stop loss. They promote using stop loss. Watch some videos. They promote it all day long. The market makers want you to use a stop loss. They're going to take you out. They can see your stop losses. They know everything that you do. When you place an order to sell, even, or buy, they know it's there instantly. But what they really love is watching your stop losses. And when enough stop losses get in an area, whether on the top side or the bottom side, both directions, they love it. And when there's enough of them there, they go get them. They have the ability to move the market wherever they want. And they do. And they'll take it. Don't do it. I'm just saying, this is Grandpa's opinion. Remember that. Don't do it. Have patience. Never do it. Don't use a stop loss. That ought to get a few people riled up. Number 8, realize that all of your charts, candles, trend lines, all the indicators that we see and use, all the lagging indicators are made for us by the very ones that are taking your money. The market makers, the exchanges, they make the candles that you see. Even Grandpa's pretty Japanese candles are made by the market makers. They make all the charts, all the trend lines, everything. They make it so you can make your trend lines between their lines, designed to take your money. Every one of them. Every one of them is designed to take your money over time. And they do. 99% lose. And some of those losers are way smarter than Grandpa. Most of them are way smarter than Grandpa. You don't got to be that bright to be smarter than Grandpa. You can ask Grandma. Number 9, realize that you not only can, but you should always win every single trade. Never lose. Never lose a trade. Let's see. I'm going to tell you a true story about Grandma and Grandpa. It's story time again, but it's going to be brief, okay? And this took place before Grandpa could see the blinking, okay? I didn't know beans about blinking back then, but it is a good story. Tesla had recently hit the $314 to $315 point. The hype was high. Everybody was going along, but the price was falling almost daily. At one point, Grandma asked Grandpa where I thought she should buy, and at that time, the price was about $2.40 per share. I told her that I thought she should probably hold out and get in at about $2.10. And sure enough, Grandma did it. She got in at $2.10, and the price, because I expected a bounce at $2.10, as little knowledge as I had, and she got in at $2.10, and the price bounced up actually to about $2.27, $2.28, and Grandma got out at $2.25, and that's a nice profit. But then Grandma got back in. This time she got back in at $2.05, and however, the price didn't bounce this time. It went to $102. However, Grandma does have patience. I will give her that. Grandma's got lots of patience. And she also has a lot of money. But anyway, so Grandma, she doesn't even let it bother. This girl don't even ask what the price is most days. And it wasn't all that long, and the price was $298. But Grandma didn't sell then either. I don't think she even remembered she had shares. But she did get out around $257, and that was a nice profit. You know, she made a little over $50 a share. And now Grandpa, however, I'm pretty smart, you know. I bought long at $104, 104. The price went a little bit below 102. Grandpa figured it out somehow that we were going to go up. And so I went all in. I mean, I buried the hatchet at 104. The problem is, where did Grandpa sell? Not being able to see the blinking, I had no idea where the market makers were selling. I didn't know nothing other than my candles. And so when it was doing a dip at a little over 114, 114, wouldn't you like to buy there right now? Grandpa sold everything, made a whopping $10 profit. It's enough to make you cry. The next time I bought on the way to 298, Grandpa didn't look so smart anymore. So this is going to be a long video or a live stream, and I don't care. We need to get this cleared up. Okay, number 11. Grandpa is going to shorten up how he gives you the blinking from now on. My plan is to share with you daily the places of substance to buy and the places of substance to sell. I'm not going to give you every goofy number. 90% of you or more don't even know what I'm talking about half the time. But you do understand a place to buy and a place to sell of substance. That I know you understand. And it just takes up time and energy to rattle off all those numbers. I write these numbers down a lot of times from 4 in the morning till 8 at night. And I plan on continuing it. So anyway, that's going to shorten up our future stuff because I won't be spending so much time on it. All right. As long as you pick a place of substance, you will always win. Have patience. And share this with others, okay? Share this opportunity with others. Number 12. Grandpa does well, and I want you to do well. There again, share this live stream. Your brother, sister, people you know and love are losing in the markets. It might not be Tesla. It doesn't matter what market they're losing in, but they are. And most of them don't even realize it. Help them. Alerts to buy are not the same as places of substance. And what I'm talking about there is Grandpa does alerts periodically. And they're, so far, every one of them is right spot on. Usually I say take your $4 or $5 profit and get out of Dodge. And you should do that. But sometimes it gets confusing because Grandpa will talk afterwards about a place of substance where he's planning on selling. And I'm not even doing the short-term bounce that I just told you about necessarily. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. But every one of my alerts so far have been spot on and good for usually somewhere between $5, $7, $8, something like that. But take your profit. If it's an alert, it's not a place of substance. It's a place to just jump in and jump out. So keep that straight in your head. If you want to play the game of my alerts, go ahead, take your chances. Is Grandpa always going to be right on his alerts? So far I am, but that I might get faked out one day. Okay, but the place of substance, that's a different deal. If you buy at a place of substance or sell at a place of substance, you are going to win, because the market makers have got to go to that place of substance sooner or later. So currently on the buy side, your place of substance is 225 area, possibly 209.80 down below that, but that's not much substance, but it's a half a day's worth. So, but right now, 205 is a place of substance. Above that, 229, 230, buying is a place to buy of substance. Above that is a place of substance at 239 to 243, and we're right on top of it. It's already broke through the 243, by the way, after hours on Friday. Don't put all your gunpowder in one spot necessarily. Do I think you should buy at a place of substance at 240? Absolutely. I think you should buy some there. It's a place of substance. Why not? You're going to make money. If you got any patience, you will. Save some for 225. We're going to see it. Back when the price was up at 278 area, Grandpa was preaching about a place of substance called 225, and that I thought it was going to go to. I did 3 live streams saying that I thought we were going to probably see 225 before we seen 280. And I got to the point where I even doubted myself if we were going to see 225 first. And we may not yet. But it's sure starting to look like we're going to see 225 before we see 280, but I just don't know. I really don't know. All Grandpa really knows is that if you buy at a place of substance and sell at a place of substance, you are going to win. Some of you bought in at a place of substance in the 160 area. And right now, you're not looking so good. Okay. Grandma bought some there, but Grandma's also buying some at 240 and 225. And Grandma says none of anybody's business what she does. That'll teach her to talk during Grandpa's live stream. But anyway, Grandpa tries to do the same. Okay. But if you're in at 260 area, don't worry. On the short side, we've covered the long side now. Okay, them are your buying places right now. I just covered them. On the sell side, 275 is a place of medium substance. That would be the very first place that you would sell a share. And obviously, 260 is $15 below 275. So if you wait for 275, it's going to come. Have some patience. You're going to make $15 a share. When you sell them, sell them. 277 has more substance than 275. 278 has more than 277. 279 is massive. Okay, they have shorted there beyond belief. 280 is, and they're going to short more there before they get there again. 280 is wonderful. Are we going to see 280? Absolutely, positively. You will see 280. And beyond, you're going to see the 300s. But they haven't give Grandpa big anything of substance to tell you a number. The nice thing about a place of substance is you can always hope for a bounce up or down at a place of substance. Do they always give us that place of bounce up or down? No, they don't. But often they do. And but regardless, just don't buy unless it's a place of substance, and don't sell unless it's a place of substance. And Grandpa tells you them every day. So we have two on the sell side. Where you want to sell is 275. Pick your number that you like to sell at. Grandpa likes 277. Am I going to sell them all there? No way. I'm going to get some 280s, maybe more. 275, 277, 278, 279, and 280. Them are your numbers. Pick them. Pick one. And do not sell. Do not give your shares away at a loss for any reason. Buy more at a lower place of substance, and don't let them have your share. You let them have their share, your share. Even if you buy it back for less and make money on it, you still lost because you gave them profit. Don't let them have your profit. Just wait. Have patience. I'm going to quit now. Grandma's home and it's dinner time. I'm sick, by the way, in case you haven't noticed. God bless you. God bless you. See you on Monday for the pre-market news. And hopefully Grandpa won't do anything crazy between now and then.